You ever see a rapper in a Lambo with diamond chains popping bottles in the club and think, wow, must be nice to be that rich? Yeah, about that. Behind the scenes, most of your favorite artists are broke. Like, arguing with the landlord while holding a Grammy broke. The music industry is less about music and more about monopoly, except you're never the banker. In this video, we're breaking down 10 brutal reasons why almost every artist goes broke. By the end, you'll see why fame doesn't always mean fortune. Let's start with the biggest money trap of them all. 1. The record label loan shark setup. Think of a record deal like a credit card from hell. Labels give you an advance, which sounds like free money, but spoiler, it's a loan. Every studio hour, every music video, every luxury car, and that flashy Instagram story, it's all getting charged back to the artist. So when that platinum album drops and you think they're cashing in? Nah, they're just paying back the world's most expensive credit card bill. But labels aren't the only villains here. Sometimes the artist is their own worst enemy. 2. Spending like tomorrow doesn't exist. Artists don't just buy cars, they buy fleets, not houses, mansions with bowling alleys, and entourages. Some keep hundreds of people on payroll. MC Hammer famously had 200 employees, including someone whose only job was taking care of his horses. Spoiler, horses don't pay royalties. When the checks slow down, the lifestyle doesn't. And before you know it, the can't touch this guy is filing for bankruptcy. But even smart spenders get wrecked by another silent killer. 3. Bad contracts that should be illegal, but aren't. If the record industry were a video game, the artists would be playing on expert mode blindfolded, while the labels got cheat codes. Let's talk about TLC, the queens of the 90s. These women had everything. A 12x platinum album, Crazy Sexy Cool, Grammys, stadium tours, and enough cultural influence to dictate fashion trends. They were untouchable until they filed for bankruptcy in 1995. Wait, bankruptcy after selling over 10 million albums? Yep. You know how much each member walked away with? About $50,000. That's less than some wedding DJs make in a good year. Here's how it happened. Their contract paid them less than 10 cents per album sold. Split that 3 ways. Subtract taxes, management fees, lawyers, stylists, tour costs. Boom, broke. And remember that advance the label gave them? That's not a gift. It's a loan, which means TLC were basically renting their own fame. Lisa Left Eye Lopez even broke it down on TV. This is how a group can sell 10 million albums and still be broke. She wasn't exaggerating. She was explaining the trap. And TLC wasn't alone. Toni Braxton signed a deal with LaFace Records that gave her less than 35 cents per album. After selling 15 million records, she had to file for bankruptcy twice. At one point, she literally couldn't perform her own songs because the creditors technically owned the rights. Imagine being world famous and barred from singing the songs that made you famous. This is called recoupment. The label fronts you money for recording, marketing, and touring, but before you see a dime, they snatch it all back. It's like someone saying, congrats, you earned $1 million. Here's your bill for $950,000. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, the lawyers often play both sides, advising the artists while also working with the labels. That's like your divorce lawyer also dating your ex. Here's the wildest part. The whole system is designed to make artists look rich while staying broke. Flashy cars, MTV cribs, red carpets, it's all a rented illusion because as long as you look successful, the label keeps making money. And here's the kicker. Some artists never escape these deals. Prince literally wrote slave on his face in the 90s to protest how Warner Brothers controlled his music. He changed his name to a symbol just to break free. When Prince is calling the system slavery, you know it's bad. So yeah, bad contracts don't just drain your bank account, they rob you of ownership, control, and even your identity as an artist. It's less a business deal and more like signing away your soul with the fine print and font size 6. 4. Publishing nightmares. Remember Sisqó's Thong Song? It made millions. But guess who owns most of the publishing? Not Sisqó, the songwriter of Livin' La Vida Loca. Sisqó insisted on borrowing part of the melody, and boom, Desmond Child gets the checks, while Sisqó gets thong regrets. Owning publishing is like owning the deed to a house. Without it, you're just renting fame. But let's say you do own your music. Doesn't mean you're safe. 5. Lawsuits and legal wars. Kesha was topping charts with TikTok, but behind the glitter, she was drowning in legal hell, locked in a contract with her alleged abuser. Every dollar she made still put money in his pocket. Years of legal fees drained her bank account while her career stalled. Imagine being one of the most famous women in pop and broke at the same time. That's the power of contracts that feel more like prison sentences. And when lawsuits aren't draining you, health issues can hit even harder. 6. When life throws curveballs. Toni Braxton sold over 15 million albums, won Grammys, and was everywhere in the 90s. But lupus and other health issues forced her to cancel tours. No shows means no money. At one point, she had to auction off her furniture and even the rights to her own songs just to stay afloat. Talent doesn't protect you from medical bills, but sometimes it's not the industry or bad health, it's just terrible decisions. 7. The bad investments graveyard. Here's the thing about sudden money. When you go from zero to millions overnight, it's like giving a teenager a black card. Bad things are gonna happen, and nobody proves this better than T-Pain. At his peak, he had around $40 million in the bank. That's generational wealth. You'd think mansions, businesses, and trust funds for the kids, right? Nah. T-Pain went full rapper starter pack. A $1.2 million Bugatti that broke down so much it spent more time in the shop than on the road. Jewelry so heavy it probably needed its own personal trainer. Custom speaker systems, chains, and oh yeah, a stripper pole in the living room, because why not burn money and calories at the same time? But the worst part? He admitted he didn't budget, didn't invest, and trusted the wrong people. The result? He went from being everywhere on the Billboard charts to borrowing money just to buy his kids Burger King. Imagine being the guy who redefined hip-hop's sound and still having to ask for a Whopper loan. And it's not just T-Pain. The bad investments graveyard is packed. MC Hammer blew through $30 million by putting his entire neighborhood on payroll and buying a mansion with its own bowling alley. Noble? Sure. Smart? Absolutely not. Kanye West once bragged about being a billionaire, then turned around and admitted he was $53 million in debt after wild spending and disastrous business moves. Yeezy went from fashion icon to financial cautionary tale in record time. 50 Cent earned hundreds of millions thanks to music and vitamin water, but filed for bankruptcy in 2015, partially because of reckless spending, lawsuits, and investments that didn't pan out. The truth is, fame magnifies bad decisions. When regular people make dumb purchases, we end up with a garage full of stuff from Amazon we don't need. When rappers do it, they end up broke with a $1 million car that doesn't even start. And here's the kicker. These bad investments don't just empty wallets, they also kill careers. When the money dries up, the artist can't fund new music, can't tour the way they used to, and can't keep up the image that fans expect. And in an industry where perception is everything, once you look broke, you might as well be broke. 8. Fake flexing gone wrong. Enter BoA. Wow. Once a child star turned rap icon, but in 2017, he pulled the infamous Bow Wow challenge. He posted a photo of a private jet, while fans spotted him on a commercial flight the same day. Turns out his luxury cars were leased, he owed back taxes, and lawsuits were stacking up. His story proves that in music, perception is currency, and when the illusion cracks, so does the bank account. And if flexing doesn't bury you, fraud might. 9. Fraud, scams, and the FBI. Sean Kingston had hits like Beautiful Girls and Fire Burning, but in 2024, SWAT raided his mansion. He and his mom were accused of running luxury scams, fake wire transfers, unpaid jewelry, even a $150,000 TV. From chart-topping hits to headline fraud charges, it's the luxury version of Dine and Dash. And if all else fails, there's still the deadliest trap of all. 10. The industry's short memory. The music industry runs on what's hot right now. Today's superstar is tomorrow's trivia question. When the hits stop, the money stops. And without financial planning, the lifestyle doesn't stop. That's how you end up with a platinum plaque on the wall and pennies in the ban. So yeah, every artist goes broke. If it's not the label, it's the lifestyle. If it's not the lawsuits, it's the industry forgetting you exist. Fame is flashy, but money? That's slippery. Next time you see a rapper flexing chains and Lambos, remember, in music, the richer they look, the broker they might be. And hey, one artist who didn't go broke, Michael Jackson. Even in death, he's still cashing in. I've got a video breaking down how he built an empire that lasts beyond the grave. Click here to watch that next. Drop a comment. Which broke artist story shocked you the most? Let's talk. Till next time, peace.